More than likely, especially because I have noticed with the transits, it's almost like the month kind of merges over, you know? So we kind of we're experiencing a lot of the current astrology last month, integrating it now, and already feeling next month's astrology. And towards the end of the month, you guys, your Pluto energy at the moment, you're going to want to tuck in and get things done. You're going to be maybe emotional. I pulled the cards and I've had a look at it for the month of April. We are late. But as I said, it's almost like we're preparing some of that energy ahead of time before Pluto goes retrograde, which will be in your first house. Hi, Giggle. So, what do we have here? I'm getting a few messages from your cards. The one thing I will say is the energy of the eclipse will be affecting you, as well as because we will have Pluto going shadow retrograde pretty much coinciding around that time. So if you are having this very busy energy coming through, it will make sense, because it's like you're cramming homework. It's like you're trying to get to a space that you're getting things done. It's the foundation. It can be family-related dynamics. It also can be things to do with your purpose in life. You know, it's like you're rotating through and you're looking at what those roles will be with people that you love, with your money, with your assets, with the things that you're needing to address. Some of you could actually look at that differently, and your role in other people's lives as well as your own is shifting. The other thing I will say is what you will and won't take. That's going to shift too, because you really, between now and May, you know, your hopes and dreams or aspirations are changing. What you believe to be true and what was, I knew this would bloody happen. People be coming at me at the minute. Anyway, point is, you got this creative energy. Could you be fertile right now? Yes, but it's to do with where you want to take life. It also can be to do with, in a sense, the steps you're taking. It can be beauty, it can be love, it can be, you know, sitting back and having a good time. But I get this feeling you're trying to pull upon your creativity to pull everything together. You also may be going into the inner child, because although it's blue, the co-creative energy is the yellow chakra. So you're trying to recoup, and this can be emotionally, physically, spiritually. It can be mouth chakra, third eye chakra. I feel you're recouping. This recuperation, I do think you're trying to bring a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new into the here and now. You could have a lot that you're trying to rewire, rework, but it could be an old situation that's coming back. You may feel burdens that you have to be extremely responsible, very Saturn in nature. It can feel very responsible. I do feel these emotions are coming up, but again, this can really benefit you this month. I don't think it's going to be all, you know, miserable and horrible the whole way through. I feel the creativity for you is going to be quite large once we can get to that grounded state, which I do feel, especially with the notion of Venus and Pisces, it's trying to do something at a very basic level, but really uncovering some of these truths inside ourselves. I'm seeing that there's two paths here. You could be multitasking. You could be in two minds about a love connection. I do feel an old situation is coming back, and it can be a heart-centered conversation. If there was immaturity, it is guiding you to tap into the inner child and to bring that sense of balance back into this circumstance. I do feel there's a change happening here. And I feel this change is bringing up a situation between now and the full moon in Libra to balance the scales out. It feels like, you know, in order for this to be successful, there needs to be a balancing. I do feel in your creative projects, if you're tackling something, you're looking at a balanced way that you can actually tackle it. I feel in your own life as well, you're emotionally wanting to feel, you know, that you're not reliving the old over and over again, but you're actually finding a way to have both parts of your life, like the Libra scale, balanced. And so your emotional needs are getting met in the mix. I feel to do with both money and love. You know, you're really studying this. You're really reflecting upon the yin and yang of the circumstance. It's almost like you psychologically feel something's hidden. This could be a very deep spiritual path. I feel in a way, and it's funny because we've got the flame tree. It's like, you know, psychologically, in order for this to work, something new has to come through. but you don't want to. It's really funny how a lot of the reads, the last reads that I didn't get done, the synchronistic message that's coming through is energies do not wish to invest in something unless it's a sure deal. The problem is with Uranus and Taurus is that both on a psychological point of view and an astrological point of view, it's almost like we have to have the old and the new simultaneously, but we also have to unwire that of what we believe is permanent. So, you know, endings can be the new beginnings, but it's almost like we're feeling that the new beginning is the ending. So I feel there is a rewiring going on inside our psyche to do with what we deem as stability, to do with what we feel as a transformation happening within connections and contracts. I feel you're going to be digging deep. I feel you're going to be reading fine print. You're guided to at the minute. I also feel you're studying the psychology around your deep, intimate relationships. And you're looking at what those changes are. Some of you can be looking at patterns and you're kind of seeing a synchronistic pattern here, and you may have a breakthrough. I do feel there's going to be something this month that does shift you. And I think this shift is going to be positive. Some of you, I'm hearing the term money in, money out, but it feels it's coming back to you. Something's coming back to you. It's going to benefit you. I feel whatever you're being forced to address at the moment, it's almost like universe gives us a chain of events to be blocked for a minute so that we can get a better outcome. So it's like putting us in the naughty corner so that we can observe a painting from a more correct standpoint, and then those doors open. I do feel in the element of business, for instance, that's one thing that's coming through, is you're correcting things. And I do feel you're going to get some of you could be getting a raise. Some of you could be looking at this circumstance in a very different light. I also feel that there is a person that is high in rank that you may be discussing something with. This can be a person that you're romantically connected to, either from a spiritual point of view or a 3D point of view. But there is a deep conversation about the future. I also feel there can be someone that is closely associated to you at the minute. This can be a romantic person, but there's somebody in the mix of your circle at the minute that can be going through a feeling of loss. And I feel subjects to do with values are coming up. Very separately, I do feel there's an individual that is having an issue with a family member. I also feel for some of you, you're having an anniversary date coming up, and that anniversary date is bringing up old emotions. It's bringing up memories of this person. And it's almost like the question of life. It's like, what is the question of your life and where it's going? Okay, let's have a look at romance. I think you're taking on a very strict approach with this. I think you're taking on a very reflective standpoint. You're trying not to go down into Hades, but there's things that you're spiritually letting go of. It's a very logical approach. It just feels very logical in mind. Okay, how is this person reacting? Let's have a look. You could be involved or connected to a person who aspires to be great. You know the full potential of this person. You're willing to work with them, but you feel sometimes this clouds their judgment. You feel at times it's all profession, and you're wanting to get down to that very spiritual connection, and you feel this person it could be putting on a little bit of front or takes a role that's quite serious. Some of you may know that this person maybe works in a particular industry, but they're not as happy as they could be. I'm hearing no man or woman is an island, but they're very attractive. They're very driven and ambitious, but at the same time they do have a lot of charisma. Now, yes, it could be a feminine, it could be a masculine. I do feel ultimately this individual does want to work with you. They are regretful of the past. I do feel they're wanting to have a positive outcome. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this because there's something going on in the mix relating to, their hopes and dreams. They may be They may be a dragon sign. I do feel they're thinking about the connection with you. This is more for those of you. Oh, yeah, no, actually, it's both. I think it's for couples and singles. I feel this individual is quite career-orientated. That may be due to a necessity for stability with family, or it could be due to just the attributes of this individual, but I do feel quite driven. I also feel for those of you that are single, you know, you do want someone to be, or it's almost like you're wanting them to be independent, autonomous, but you also do want them to have passion and drive, and you want the best of both worlds. Some of you are aware that there is an unhappiness in this individual's life. There's a separate situation going on that is bringing unhappiness, and you do see through the veil. I feel there's going to be a candid conversation in relation to this. Hi. Yeah, I feel there was something that went down, and it's an old situation that's coming up. Yes, it can be to do with the relative, but I feel there could be, might have been, I'm going to pull a chakra card. It feels communication. It feels something is off with this individual. Their intention is to balance things out. I feel this individual sometimes can hide behind work. Yeah, there's something in their foundation at home and family. It's something in their belief systems to do with their self. You know, it could have pulled the action back. It may be, you know, all oomph, no outcome. But it's not remaining that way. It's like something was quite heated and it felt very cold. It felt like, you know, the situation was very cold. Maybe in the demeanour they communicated or in the actions that they took, and it made you really look at the dream from a different standpoint. I don't feel this person is being honest, but I do feel it's going to come up in a conversation piece. So, you know, I feel to trust your intuition. Try to not take the words. It's hard to say this. Try to not take the words to heart. This is about this individual, not about you. Yeah, they're not saying it, but their actions are being reflected upon at this point. Yeah, they may be, if this is a person you're directly with, I do feel the beauty of the chemistry is between you. And I feel it's almost like you know when to talk and when not to talk. But I also feel you're also reflecting upon the things that you need to address, like that you have as in a sense of needs. And I'm hearing there's, you know, you're not interested in a one-sided transaction. You might be patient. I feel you're going to be ever so matter-of-fact with this individual. These emotions could come bubbling to the surface, because I do feel both parties in the mix here are going through two personal things. You can directly relate to each other. You are really wanting this connection between the both of you, but there appears to be there was some crosswires that were causing issues. It's funny, we have turtle. We got turtle. Giggle, we got turtle. That's you. It did come up in reverse. It says, stop trying to make things happen. I actually think things are happening. I do feel both parties are trying to be quite protected in the mix. This could be a very spiritual connection with the swan. What is the outcome of this circumstance? Yeah, I do feel there's going to be, I feel both parties are like, okay, I need to mince my words, I need to not mince my words. How do I work this matrix? Koala actually says, speak less and listen more. And I think both parties are doing this in the moment. It's a little bit like, you know, we want to be huggy and lovey, you know, we're very, but you want to be protected. And it's almost like with the tree coming through in this animal totem card, it can be family and lineage and conditioning. It's both parties want to feel safe. Both parties are having a tough time. Both parties really do feel that you're tribe to each other. But the awkwardness of the inner emotion and the inner child is making that circumstance, at the minute, difficult to transmute. Okay, I don't feel it's remaining this way. I do feel there's going to be a conversation. I feel both parties in the mix are going to give each other an opportunity to have their say, but I do feel you're going to be very cautious in articulating, which is good because we do have throat chakra here. You're going to be really cautious in the way you're speaking. Some of you, I do see this to be a text message, and I don't necessarily feel on this occasion that that's a negative thing. I feel it is a gradual, slow, safe space to be able to communicate in such a fashion. And I do feel on this occasion that it's actually going to bode well. So, any questions? Seeing as I'm here in the Members Hub, I missed you guys last night. I was kind of having one of those choppy evenings, really. So it was like, yeah, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. So then when I came back, no one was there. And I'm cramming everything because my daughter's moving. Got to get the twin flame videos done, which I'll have up soon. Hopefully I can get them done, which I'm going to be doing 2 sets for the members, and then they'll be released to the main page. So I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and I'm going to get into recording. Feel free to drop me a question if there's anything after the video, and I'll see if I can tune into it further, and we'll do updates later. Oh. Depends on how it's coming out. That's what my guides are showing me. My guides are showing me that there is going to be a conversation potentially for some of you. It's via text. Yeah, they're saying, oh, it's so funny that this came through. The tree, okay? Circle of life. Ever seen that with the Egyptians? They've got the key to life. Connection to Gaia, it's third eye. Now, Uranus and Taurus, which the eclipse is going to be in, this is for both parties, is connected to time. You know that gorgeous saying we have, hi Dal, is, you know, we can extend time and we can shorten it. Some of us, the urgency when we feel we're running out of time, it doesn't necessarily mean that anxiety, the anxiety puts pressure on you, because it's like, you know, the whole theme of divine timing, we sarcastically look at it and then we feel, you know, it's not moving. Time. Are you trying too hard? Give it time. Now, it's funny. It's beliefs, remember? It's third eye. It's beliefs. Uranus and Taurus is that changes are happening, and many of us right now can be feeling them. They are testing our nerves, affecting our frequency. We know change is happening. Change is happening every day. This spiritual connection, and it's kind of good that this is coming through, especially for those of you that are twin flames, because once you work through your demons, it comes to a soul connection then, where it's not the angst of the karmic cycles getting messy and dirty. It's a spiritual connection, right? You need to believe in the spiritual connection. Mantra for the month. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joy. You can allow the joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. I am safe and I am worthy and I am loved. See you soon.